Are the scientists really experimenting on prisoners in Lego City? Today we're building a zombie lab where the zombies were actually created to figure out what started the zombie apocalypse. First up, we need to do some sketching and figure out how this thing is gonna look. Taking some inspiration from Stranger Things, I ended up with this beauty. And I think it's gonna work great. Now we just have to build it in Lego. But before that, we have to build some zombies. You can't have a zombie lab with scientists experimenting on zombies without a zombie army. So here we go. Now there are a lot of different cool zombies here, a lot of custom ones as you may see. These are not official ones, however this guy is. So we're taking a look at some of the zombies that I made and see what kind of parts we used. These are the zombies that just got infected, so that's why they still have their skin tone, and I think they turned out really cool. They are just turning into zombies. And I found some really cool parts to build these zombies. I really like this one too, however this one is a custom one with a head. Now this one is completely official with official parts, so you can build it at home. And if we remove the arm here, this is a mutated arm, which is so cool. And if we remove the head instead, we can actually, since it's transparent, we can actually add a light inside of it, and it's gonna look really cool. Because this isn't a glow-in-the-dark head, but if we add a light, it will glow in the dark. Take a look at this. This is so cool. I love the look of this. Imagine just glowing zombies. It also looks like a scientist failed an experiment and turned himself into a zombie. Stay away from radiation, kids. Now let's get to the fun part and start building. Grabbing a few plates as a base and then this set, because I want to use these roads. They work perfect if you want to build your own road system and not have a plate. So let's build a road leading into the compound, which is actually guarded by a security checkpoint. Now in this little booth I want to have a CCTV camera system and a guard operating the whole thing. So let's add the guard into the booth, and he looks nice and comfy, controlling the whole thing, letting people in and out of the lab. Let's add a warning stop sign as well so people know not to go in. Now it should work to open up and close. Perfect. We should also finish the booth so the guard feels secured, adding a rooftop as well. For some more custom warning signs, this says notice personnel only. Then we have this sign pointing towards the entrance. Let's grab some more plates and start building a parking lot where the employees can park their cars. Wow, no one ever gets excited for building a parking lot in Lego, but I like adding the piece so it's clearly a parking space, and I think that's a nice detail, so it was actually kind of fun. Adding these custom cars that I built, I think they will fit perfectly into this build, and this military car as well. We should also add a parking sign so people know. Now for some more small details, and I want to tile this whole walkway to make it into kind of a stone path from the small little security hub thing to the parking lot. I think we need some more security. Built these cool soldiers that's gonna guard the whole lab. Now there are a lot of custom parts here, barely any of these. Maybe the official heads are Lego, but the other parts are just custom stuff. So that's why you maybe don't recognize it. However, they look really cool. But maybe they didn't do the best job of guarding the place, since one of them is a zombie. Now these guys, they look tough, so it should be enough to guard the whole facility. Since Lego doesn't make military stuff, you have to go custom. Let's add them to the checkpoint, securing the entrance to the lab. And it's nice to have gotten started, but I think there's a lot more to do outside, so let's take a look at the right-hand side. As always, we should start by tiling off the base. Why do I do this? I could just leave the studs, but I do like the look of having that clean, smooth surface. Built this small control room that's gonna control the electricity. Continuing to tiling the floor, and you can see the difference between having studs and having a smooth surface. It really looks amazing. Now I add the footpath here as well to get continuity. And for this little electrical shed, we should add some other signs and details to it as well. Some boxes and some water barrels. Don't know if that's a great combination, but let's hope no accidents will occur. Adding boxes and stuff like this around a build will really make it come alive. Then a seagull on the roof, of course, because they are everywhere. Now this delivery guy is delivering some sensitive stuff. Maybe it's secure, who knows? In this alley, however, it looks like a zombie has just been left out there. Maybe it's a failed experiment. And here's another zombie that's gonna be experimented on, or maybe he's already been experimented on. Let's put him in this cage. He's being delivered to the lab for some more tests. So let's make sure he actually stays in there by locking the whole thing up, grabbing a forklift and putting him on top of it. Let's drive away to the lab. So if we put this guy on top of the forklift and attach him with some sticky tack, he will stay there. Now we need more barbed wire fences, and these ones with very cool radioactive warning signs and some barbed wire. These fences are not official Lego, just so you know, but they look amazing. Now we're done with the entrance, so let's move on to the lab. But first let's take a quick look at what we got. The barbed wire fences really sell the whole thing that this is supposed to be a military facility, where it's a lab controlled and protected by the military. And I think it looks just amazing. But we have to figure out what they're protecting. It's time to build a lab. For this I grab a lot of gray base plates, 16 by 16 ones, because I want to be able to open this up and look at the rooms separately. Let's grab a bunch of gray bricks and start building. If you have a complaint that I've been building too much gray recently, I agree. I've been building a lot of gray stuff, but it's a military lab. We have to make it gray. At least I made a yellow line. I also found this perfect custom sticker that says Lab C35, which just looks great in my opinion. Here I have a bunch of stickers that I want to use in this build, and some of these are from Friendly Neighborhood Crafts, so check them out, link in description. And these are perfect for a lab or some kind of experiment facility, so we're gonna use them in this build. I built these two doors by laying profile bricks on the side, giving it that texture so it looks like a metal sheet door. Hopefully they're thick enough to hold zombies inside of the lab. So let's add the doors to the build, and I want them sliding open and closing like this. So we're gonna have to put down some tiles to give support, as well as something to hold it in place. I gotta say, if I've ever seen a lab, which I probably haven't, but it really looks like a military lab. So now it's about time we step inside the lab. I actually did sketch up a layout for this as well, so we have a plan. And here we have all the scientists working in the lab. They are eager to get started on... I don't think they're working on a zombie cure, I think they're working on a zombie virus. Maybe these guys aren't the good guys. Let's start by taking a look at the corner over here and build our first lab. First, let's build a gray wall that's gonna be on the outside as well, and let's add some windows, just like we did on the front side. Now here I added a shelf as well and put some snot bricks in there. Tiling time! Let's grab a bunch of white tiles and tile the floors. I built these cool radiation barrels, this computer with a sticker from Friendly Neighborhood Crafts, which is just 3 parts, very simple. Let's get to tiling. This is really the most tedious part of any Lego build, but it looks very nice with the tiles on the floor. Let's add this shelf with a lot of vials on it, this chalkboard with a lot of calculations, and these radiation barrels, of course. Then we have this patient bed where we're gonna put a zombie, or this guy might be turning into a zombie because of these scientists. I found some more cool custom stickers that we can add. This says demo area, and here we have some, I guess, TV screens with different calculations. Let's finish off that room and add the walls and the windows. And here we go. Our first lab is done. This is the biohazard lab. That's why they're wearing the hazmat suits. Too many chemicals in there. And they're doing an experiment on his arms, trying to increase strength. This guy really got the scientist goggles on. And either this man is very sick or they are in for a lot of trouble. I also added this custom biohazard sign to the window, because it's a biohazard lab. Now I think we should move on to the next lab, but before that we should add the floor. And here I want to add some kind of metal grid to the floor with a lot of texture. Combining different sets of tiles and grills, making it look like a car could go in here with the delivery, or just look industrialized, military grade. Just combining fancy words, really. Let's keep building that wall. Every facility that looks like this should have an emergency spot. This is a fire hose and a fire axe, and adding these lockers we have this hallway area. And for this place, we are building lab number 2. Adding, once again, those tiles and the wall with some windows and some doors. This should be a very safe area where nothing should get out or in. Adding a little desk with a computer and some vials, some more desks, and this container of dangerous chemicals, which they should use for experiments. And here we have some more scientist equipment and a scientist, of course. Some more scientists. This guy spilled some stuff on his shirt, which is not the best way to work. This guy's strapped in and they're doing experiments on him. Here's some radiation material, which is probably needed for all these experiments too. Here we have a guy just hanging out, doing some stuff on his computer, trying to do some calculation. And here we have the scientist with the mutated arm. They should probably contain this before it spreads in the lab, because this is a dangerous breach of security. In here we should also add a zombie, because I can't just leave it empty. We have to have someone in there for experiments. Now I think it's time to build the rest of the wall, so let's add some more windows and this white wall with a little texture to it. Pan around to the entrance, I added this security camera and this technical panel. It's starting to come together and it definitely looks like a lab. Let's just hope whatever this guy has doesn't spread across the entire lab. These experiments look highly immoral, and maybe the scientists do deserve what's coming for them, but the rest of the world doesn't. This was the organic lab. Now for the next one, this is going to be between this lab and an office, so let's just grab some tiles and tile the floor, add this shelf with a lot of supplies, and this guy trying to catch something. And he's actually trying to catch a rat, a lab rat that escaped. Let's grab a bunch of windows and add them to our next build. And this is going to be the office, where people sit and analyze the data that they've covered from all the experiments. And, I don't know, play Snake on the computer. What do you do in an office job, really? Just push a bunch of buttons and move numbers, I guess? I don't know. If you have an office job, let me know in the comments what you actually do. Anyways, here I went for the dark tan because I wanted it to look a bit different than the labs, and we couldn't go with white. Adding some computer desks with some desk chairs. This is starting to look like an office. This is a server with all the data that they've stored. And here we have another analytics station. This guy is working on his big project, making people into superhumans. I also added this surveillance station. This guy's on his computer. Here we have a coffee maker. And actually, one of the scientists turned into a zombie and, well, we're gonna eat one of these guys. So they don't have the best security inside the lab. I put a sign up making this the main office. Let's finish off this office by adding a wall, and this wall actually goes to the outside, so we should add some ventilation system, some AC units. But here we need a wall. It's just open and empty. So let's build a wall for that as well. In the office I added these calculations, custom stickers, and this employee of the month, Michael Morbius. I guess it's Morbin time. Sorry about that. The lab is definitely coming together. It looks very nice with the gray and the yellow and the details in the windows. Here I want to add a kitchen area or some kind of employee lounge where you can sit down, grab a lunch, or maybe just grab a cup of coffee. Store your lunchbox in the refrigerator, and once again look at the CCTV cameras. There are a lot of those cameras around this place. You gotta have good security. Let's grab this cool vending machine with a lot of snacks inside it, because if you don't bring your lunch, you gotta have something to eat. This woman is taking a break, drinking a cup of coffee, which is well deserved. They work hard in this lab. Over here we have a final office that I want to build, and this should be the main office. Well, the other one was the main office, but this is the boss's office. So this is like the head scientist where he sits and does his job. Whatever boss does, I don't really know, but he studies some DNA and tries to cover up some top secret stuff that shouldn't have leaked from this lab. Here we have him, adding a little file cabinet, and here we have his assistant. She's quite mad with him because he doesn't really listen and just bosses her around. Understandable. Let's add the walls and some windows to this office so we can finish it off. Whenever I don't know what to add to a wall, I just greeble, which is just put a bunch of stuff that looks important, and some AC units, and that will usually sell it. Here we have the head office. It turned out cool. Now I can actually move a lot of stuff around here, so here we're gonna add a toilet. restroom. And someone left a surprise in it. Every workplace needs a toilet, and even Lego figures go to the toilet. That's confirmed by Lego because there are a lot of toilets in Lego sets. We're just about done with this lab, so we just have to finish up by building some more walls and adding some extra details, some tiles. This guy that badly needs to go to the toilet, and his rifle. Not a very professional soldier. Here we have some more guards guarding the inside, and here we have a prisoner being transported into a lab. Another guard, but this guard isn't very attentive because there are actually zombies in the hallway, escaping. And this guy's just enjoying his music. The lab is almost done, we just need a roof. So for that, let's grab one more stack of gray plates. Now this obviously needs to have the same shape as the roof, so let's map that out, lock everything in with bricks, also making this edge that's gonna look kinda nice to the roof. Once again, when you don't know what to build AC units. AC units are everywhere. So adding those to the roof will make it look a bit more realistic, and some, I don't even know, some solar panels. Just throw some stuff on there. Sweet. Now let's try and fit this on the roof. And would you look at that, it actually fits. Would have been embarrassing if it didn't. Damn, that looks really cool. But we're not done yet. I want to build a small little forest area next to the lab. So with a lot of round bricks, a few of these fern pieces, a lot of these fern pieces, in both big and small shapes, some round plates and some small round bricks. We can build some pine trees. Now I live in Sweden, so these trees are basically everywhere and I'm very used to them. And they look very cool with this technique. It's gonna be a very dense, thick forest with a dark green, and I think I know I really like that look. So let's add them to the side of the lab, giving it the look that this lab is actually deep in the forest, hidden. I would have built a bigger forest, but I actually, to be honest, ran out of fern pieces. Here we have the lab, and I am very happy with this build. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. This turned out to be a very cool secret military zombie lab facility. Now that's a mouthful, but that's exactly what it is. The look of the metal door with the soldiers, it just really looks great. These two guys are trying to sneak in and steal something, and with the Rebuild the World jacket, I think they're some kind of activists. Because of all these signs, these warning signs, it really looks realistic in the way that no one would be allowed here except people working here. It's a dangerous area, it's a private facility, don't go in there. Over here we have some failed experiments, and these guys, well, I feel bad for them. On the roof we have the antenna for sending away data to other people, other military bases, other labs. Then we have the solar panels so this facility can be self-sufficient. Here we have some prisoners that's gonna be transported to this lab. I don't know what they've done, but I feel a bit bad for them. They're gonna be transported in this truck that I built, which is gonna send them straight to the lab, where people are gonna do experiments on them. Let's open up that gate and drive the prisoners into the lab. Kind of a horrible fate if you think about it. The thing is that the lab is already breached. There are zombies everywhere and this guy really needs to go to the toilet, so he can't help. I actually decided to add hinges on the side of this build so we can open it up and actually see different parts of it separately. We can slide this part away and all of a sudden it's a modular lab where we can look at all the rooms. This is actually because I have a stop motion planned in this lab, so stay tuned for that. I've got some pretty exciting news coming up soon. There's a lot going on inside this lab and a lot of zombies on the loose. Why would they even start experimenting from the beginning? You know this is how it's gonna end. This is every single zombie movie. Let me know which room is your favorite room. Is it the lab? Is it the outside? I really love the whole build as a complete build, and I think it turned out awesome. Let me know what you think of the build. Comment down below, give a like, and subscribe for more. See you around.